Hello everyone, this is Jiten Kumar, your mathematics teacher, and today we are here to discuss the new chapter, new topic in algebraic expression. In the previous video we have learned the basics of algebraic expression, and now in this video we will learn about the algebraic expression and extension, that is the polynomial. Okay, so in this video we will study about the polynomial, and polynomial is, as you know, is very important topic, very important chapter in class 7th, 8th and 9th also. So polynomial. So what is polynomial? Polynomial basically made up of two terms, that is poly and nomial. So what is the meaning of poly? Poly means many, and many means more than one. More than one you can call it as poly, and nomial means terms. So the algebraic expression that has more than one terms is actually referred to as the polynomial. Okay, and we have different types of polynomial. Before telling about the polynomial, I would like to tell you something about the origin of the polynomial. That is, algebraic expression can be divided into different aspects. Okay, the first aspect is on the basis of the number of terms that the algebraic expression has. Okay, so on the basis of the number of terms in the algebraic expression, we can classify the polynomial in different kinds, and algebraic expression can also be classified on the basis of the degree of the polynomial. Degree of the polynomial we have already discussed in the previous video. Degree is actually the highest power of the variable present in the expression. Okay, so on the basis of the degree of the polynomial, we can classify polynomial in different types, and on the basis of the number of terms we can classify the polynomial. And first we will learn here about the number of algebraic expression that can be done on the basis of number of terms present in the algebraic expression. So the divisions are, the first is monomial. So monomial, here mono means single, mono is actually single, and nomial means term. So by its name it is clear that monomial is the algebraic expression that has only one term. Okay, like if it is written as x, or if it is written y, z, or x to the power 2, or y cube, or z to the power 4, like this, all these terms are single. Okay, x is an individual term, y is also individual, y cube, x square, z to the power 4, all these terms are single. So the polynomial means the expression that has only a single term, means there is nothing with x square, it is only x square, so it is a single term. Okay, so it can be referred to as the monomial, that is consisted of only single term of algebraic expression. Now the second division is binomial. So bi means two, and nomial means term. Okay, so the algebraic expression that consists of two terms means, like if it is written as x plus 10, then x and 10 are two different terms. Okay, one more thing I would like to tell you here, that how we identify that it is an individual term. Like if it is written x and 10, these are two different terms. Suppose if it is written like x, y and z, can we treat it as three different terms or a single term? Actually this is a single term, means when the terms are separated by plus and minus, then only it can be treated as a different term. If it is written all together, means it is in multiplication or it is in division, we cannot treat it as a different terms. Okay, so x, y, z is actually a single term. This is also a type of monomial. Okay, and if it is written x plus 10, x is a separate term and 10 is also a separate one. That's why x plus 10 consisted of two terms, and this is why this can be referred to as the binomial, where bi means two and nomial means term. Okay, now the next we can call as trinomial. So tri means, you know, tri is actually three. So three terms. So algebraic expression that is consist of three terms are referred to as the trinomial. Okay, so monomial, binomial, trinomial, or for the other terms means that has more than one terms, you can call it as a polynomial also. Means this monomial, binomial, trinomial can also be called as a polynomial, because this is the categorization, classification only on the basis of the number of terms. So on the basis of number of terms, we can call it as monomial, binomial or trinomial. However, all the terms that we can write like x, y, z, or x square, y cube, z to the power 4, it is x plus 10, or x, y, z. These all are polynomial. And for the trinomial also, like you can write x square plus 3x plus 2. This is an example of trinomial. Here we have 3 terms. It can also be separated by the minus sign, like y square 3x plus 2. So here also we have 3 terms. Y square is another. It is separated by minus and plus. So the terms that is separated by individual plus and minus, that can only be referred to as the individual terms. And on the basis of that, we can call it has 3 terms, it has 3 terms, it has 1 term only, it is 2 term, 1 term, like that. Okay, so hope this polynomial and classification of polynomial on the basis of number of terms is clear to you. Now we will learn how we can classify the polynomial on the basis of the degree of polynomial. So degree, in the previous video we have learnt about the degree. Degree is what? The power, highest power of the algebraic expression for any individual variable given there in the expression. Like if it is y cube plus 2x plus 3, so in this expression y has the highest power and it has a power of 3, so the degree of this polynomial is 3. Okay, if we have z square plus 10, it has 2 terms, and in these 2 terms z has a power of 2, so the power of the variable is 2, so the degree of this expression is what? 2. Okay, so on the basis of the degree of the expression, degree of the variable, degree of the algebraic expression, we can classify it. And let's learn how we can classify. And this is very important for all the classes, so just see it properly, watch it properly, and learn. So on the basis of degree of expression, on the basis of degree of expression, we can classify the polynomials as linear polynomial. Linear polynomial are those polynomial that has what? The degree of 1. Like if we have x plus 10, here we have x as a variable and the degree of this variable is 1. Therefore, this is what? Linear polynomial. If we will write as z plus 2, it is also linear polynomial. If we will write y plus 3, it is also linear polynomial. Means all the polynomials that will have a degree of 1, and it may have a single term, double term, or it may have 3 terms also. It doesn't matter. But if it is means the power, the degree of the variable is 1, then it can be referred to as the linear polynomial. And one more thing, why we call it as a linear polynomial? So linear itself means that will give you a line. Okay, means that will make a line is called linear polynomial. And actually this has an origin, means when we try to put these expression on the graph. You have learned the chapter of the graph also. So if you will try to plot the graph of these type of variables, okay, you will always get a straight line. Okay, and because we get a straight line with the help of the linear polynomial, when we put it in an equation, like if it is x plus 2 is equal to 0, hope you have tried it in the graph chapter. So if you will try to put it on the graph x plus 2 is equal to 0, you will definitely get a straight line. So because we get a straight line with the help of the linear polynomial, that's why it is linear polynomial. Means that will give you a line. Okay. Now the second division is quadratic. Quadratic polynomial. So quadratic polynomial is what? Quadratic polynomial which has a degree of 2. Okay, which has a degree of 2 is actually the quadratic polynomial. So what may be the example of that type of polynomial, like x squared plus 2x plus 3. So here you can see that x square plus 2x plus 3 is actually the degree of 2 polynomial, means this has a degree 2, that's why it can be referred to as the quadratic polynomial. You can use different variables, like if you can write z square plus y plus 2, then it is also an example of quadratic polynomial. So quadratic polynomial are actually, if you will say for the common expression, then you can write it as ax square plus bx plus c, where a is some constant, b is also some constant, and c is also constant, and x is a variable. So we can write it like this. It can be called as a general term for the quadratic polynomial. Okay, so hope you understand the quadratic polynomial. Means the polynomial which will have a degree of 2 will be known as quadratic polynomial, and the third one is cubic polynomial. Cubic polynomial are what? Cubic means that has a power of cube, that is 3. When an expression, algebraic expression, has a power of 3, we will call it as cubic polynomial. So what may be the example? I think you can guess the example. So like y cube plus 3y plus 2, like this, which has a degree of 3. So we can call it as the cubic polynomial. Means cubic polynomials will be those polynomials that will have a power of 3. Okay, so x cube plus 2x square plus 3x plus 5, this can also be termed as cubic polynomial. So cubic means when the power of the variable, highest power of the variable will be 3, it can be termed as cubic polynomial, and it doesn't matter whether it has the square power or single power or not. If it has a third power, means if simply it is written as z cube, then also you can call it as the cubic polynomial. It has a single term, but the power is 3, and that's why it is cubic polynomial. For the next, like the fourth, we have also a name, that is we can call it as biquadratic. Biquadratic polynomial. So biquadratic polynomial which has a degree of 4, means biquadratic will have a degree 4. Okay, and what may be the example of degree 4? The examples, you can easily guess the example, like if it is written as x to the power 4, 3x cube, 2x plus 2, like this, it has the highest power as 4. So this will be what? The biquadratic polynomial, because it has a power of biquad means it has a power of 4, that's why it is biquadratic polynomial, means with the degree 4. You can also use different terms, like if it is written as y to the power 4, it is biquadratic. If it is written as z to the power 4 plus 3z square, like this, then it is also a biquadratic polynomial. So on the basis of the number of means the degree of the expression, we can classify the polynomial in these 4 different types, that is linear, quadratic, cubic and biquadratic. Okay, and in the class 7th, 8th and 9th, we just study about the linear, quadratic and cubic polynomial, and this is the very basic of algebra, and it will help you for the different chapters. Also for the algebra it is very, very important, and for graphs chapter and also in the higher classes it will help you a lot. So hope this is clear to you. Today we have learned about the degree of polynomial, and on the basis of the degree of polynomial we can classify the polynomials like this: linear, quadratic, cubic and biquadratic. And prior to this we have learned about the polynomial, classification of polynomial on the basis of the number of terms, and hope this polynomial is clear to you. And next we will discuss in the next video.